Hey everyone, Specialized Minis here, and today we're going to be going over Star Wars Legion Padmé Amidala's expansion.
It's Queen Amidala herself.
So we're going to be going through the box, opening it up, showing you what's inside, and I'm also going to be showing you how to base it, prime it, paint it, and show it off at the end. So look out for this video coming at you. Let's take a look at this box. So this is a new packaging design that Fantasy Flight Games is doing with Star Wars Legion. It's the first of its kind. So here is General Veers in comparison. So it's taller, a little skinnier. I like the design, it's pretty cool. All right. So kind of a couple different positions for Padmé. Looks like we come different guns with or without the cape. All right, let's open this up. All right, here's the sprue. Pretty cool. I really like the new hard plastic they've been going with since Clone Wars was released. And this punch out is a little larger than the other ones. So it's a little larger layout on here as well. I like it. Let's look at their cards here real quick. So we got the Looted E5 Blaster. I think a lot of people are going to be using this when they're games. Situational Awareness. All right, we have Offensive Push. Ascension Cables, these are new. You get free action, tap this until the end of the turn. You gain Scale. You ignore excessive difficult terrain and do not suffer wounds while clambering. Either before or after you perform a move action, you may perform a free clamber action. So that's going to be coming in pretty helpful. That's a new card. Emergency Stems, we've seen that before. Improvised Orders, we've also seen that before. All right, let's get to her command cards. Our fate is in your hands, Padmé Amidala. Looks like we got the Gungans there. Look, we even got Qui-Gon in the background there. All right, Padmé Amidala gains Danger Sense 2. At the start of the activation phase, Padmé Amidala may transfer any number of suppression tokens from trooper units at range 1 to 2 of herself. For each token transferred, she gains 1 dodge token, gaining up to 2 dodge tokens. Pretty cool. This is one of my favorite command card verbiage, aggressive negotiations.
We call this a diplomatic solution?
No, I call it aggressive negotiations.
Her and Anakin over there. So Padmé Amidala and 1 trooper may activate. When Padmé Amidala issues an order to a trooper unit, it may either perform a speed 1 move or gain 1 aim, dodge, or surge token. Her 3-pip diplomatic cover. Activate Padmé. It's permanent. If this card was divulged, Padmé Amidala gains Secret Mission. If it is not divulged, she gains Reliable 1 instead. So divulge is deploy unit step. Padmé Amidala gains Infiltrate, and when she's deployed, she gains 1 dodge token. This card must be selected during round 1. So kind of like the Operative Vader, one of his command cards, Darkness Descends. And we got her card. Quick Thinking, gain 1 aim token and 1 dodge token. We have Authoritative. When you would be issued an order, you may issue an order to a friendly unit at range 1 to 2 instead. Exemplar. Friendly units at range 1 to 2 and in line of sight can spend your green tokens. So we love spending our green tokens with the clones. And Nimble and Sharpshooter 2. And there's her art on the back. Pretty cool looking. And these instruction sheets are also new. Oh, it kind of opens up here. First time I'm seeing this. Wow, look at that. Big old art on that. And they even have the expansion rule set in the instructions. So we have Danger Sense 2, Divulge, Infiltrate, Nimble, Permanent. That's kind of new to the game, right? This command card is not discarded from play, and its effects persist until the end of the game. Reliable 1, Secret Mission, and Sharpshooter 2. It's pretty cool. A lot different than the old instruction sheets. All right. Pretty cool instruction sheet. I really like it a lot. They even have the assembly instructions available online as well. I like the layout of the instructions compared to the other ones. It really makes you lay it out a lot better. Our components, credits. So that wraps up the box opening there. What I'd like to do is start getting into the actually preparing the models and start painting them. So one moment and we will get right to that. All right, we are back here. We're gonna take apart this sprue. So I'm going to build it with her cape. I really like that option. So let's get to this. We'll do a time lapse here just so we can get through this. One moment. Done cutting the sprues off here. Pretty cool model. Excited to put together now. So we're going to go ahead and start gluing this up. I guess it comes with 2 different hair buns on here, so they give you an extra, maybe in case you lose the other one. I don't see a difference in them, so we will now start gluing this together, and we will be doing another time lapse, so just hold on. All right, so here's the model. It is now completed. I went ahead and did the E5 blaster and cape version. Just the whole cape and action pose of Padme. It's pretty cool. We're gonna go ahead and start working on the basing. The base. Again, we have the model all complete, but we're gonna make a base now. And what we're gonna do is a rocky lava type base. So what I went out and got, I'm sure some of you have seen this already, but these cork sheets. You can pretty much get them at any kind of hobby store. Tiny little squares. You can get them in bigger rolls, all kinds of stuff. I've already cut up some cork here. You can cut it with an X-Acto blade, just break it off. What we're gonna do is make a little rocky base here and do like a lava theme. We also have some little model train little rocks and pebbles will add to the cork as well. So I have heated up my hot glue gun, and we're gonna hot glue gun the cork to the base. So we'll get started. I'm trying to think what type of base look I want to go for. What I usually do here is maybe we'll cut this in half here. Be careful now. Didn't want a base that was too tall, you know, and just like a square on it, right? Doesn't look too good. So just kind of making it a little skinnier. You know, it's got some dimensions to it. So maybe just kind of eyeballing it here. Can also add some pieces looking up like this, for example. These aren't glued in, obviously, but maybe just have like an example like that. But you also have to take in mind the model and how it's standing. So Padmé, you could also try and make it look like she's stepping up a little bit because her back foot is down and kneeling a little bit. So you can do, you know, different levels as well. So you just kind of have to play around with it. Doesn't have to be perfect, you know, that's the way it looks a little better if it's not. So kind of once you get an idea of what you want to do, you can glue it down. So just be creative. Legion has the silhouette, so if you're really hardcore Legion player and competitive, you can use those silhouettes, you know, if you think the model's getting too tall. But even so, it looks pretty sweet after we're done here with this. Just cutting off some more pieces here. So what I'm gonna do is just kind of start gluing it down here. No rhyme or reason, just kind of making sure it fits on the base there. Little overhang isn't bad, it makes a cool effect. You know, you can just rip it off if you don't like it. This stuff, you know, dries super quick. So this piece here of cork is a little elevated on one side. I'm going to put the flat side down on it here. Kind of rub it in and get it all over the underside there, and you can even push it on there, and really just kind of sticks. And if you get glue coming up, it's okay, like it's kind of natural, or you can take it, some of it out. So now we kind of have part of it here. There's a little bit of overhang, right? Not bad. Whoops. All right, so those are kind of like my main bases. Now I'm just gonna maybe try and build up some here. Let's see how Padmé looks on here. Could even put her feet on the bottom part here and have her walking up a little bit. But I kind of want to do a lava base, so I have to put some more cork down. You know, right, that's kind of cool right there. Having her do it like that. So, you know, it's kind of elevated a little bit already. I think I will do that. So I'm gonna just add a little bit more cork in here, maybe right there. Like point it up like that a little bit. Cool thing is, it doesn't have to be perfect. Kind of, the more you mess up a little bit, the more real it looks, authentic, rather than just having everything be perfect. All right, so I'll continue with this. So I finished the basing here. I like how my cork is looking. It's pretty cool looking in my opinion. Just kind of jaggedy. I'll do the lava around the edges here just to make it look. And kind of throughout that time lapse, I was trying to test fit where Padmé would go. And I kind of figured out I was gonna put her right here on this edge with her foot coming up. Kind of looks like she's stepping up. It works out pretty cool. So I'm gonna go ahead and glue her in there. And then after that, once we get her glued, we're gonna add some rocks and start doing some terrain glue as well. So we'll be right back. Here, it's more like sand. We're gonna just kind of paint slash glue on certain specific spots on the base to make it look a little better. And then after that, we're gonna do some scenic cement. We're gonna brush that on so it doesn't chip off, you know, while this model gets play and use. We're gonna do 3 coats of scenic cement. So we're gonna go ahead and, before we do that, we're gonna just kind of first layer do some super glue, because I only want 1 layer. I just want to make sure and just coat certain specific spots. So I just use super glue. Like maybe I'll do a little bit here, maybe some here where her foot is. And maybe on this side here where this jet rock is coming out. Some back here, a little bit on top here. Doesn't have to be everywhere. Because I still like the, you know, features that the cork gives it without adding more and more, you know, to kind of cover that up. So I kind of have some spots here where I like. So before everything gets too dry, I'll just kind of put the model in here and just kind of pour it on. And then I'll just immediately tip it over and even just tap.
Even a little tappy, tap, tap, taparoo.
Get everything I don't want on there. So now, I kind of have it not everywhere, but kind of gives you some more texture to the model. Scenic cement, I'm gonna do 3 coats of this. So this is kind of the longest part of the process you think painting is, but I have to wait for it to dry and then I kind of put another coat on. All right, so what I do, I just take just a wrangly old brush, nothing special. I'm going to be dipping in cement. So what I want to do is just dip it in, and I'm just going to tap it on there, because I don't want to brush it on, even though I just super glued it and it's dry. I don't want to move those rocks around how I have it. So this is kind of a little tedious, but not really. You just tap that on there and it just kind of spreads out all by itself. It's pretty cool. I'll just keep dipping and doing that. On the side here. And this stuff, you know, dries clear, so you can't even tell when you're done, as you'll see in a moment. So I will go ahead and continue this. Just finished doing the last of the scenic cement. It's still wet, but just kind of wanted to have you guys see. All right, so now we're out here. We're gonna prime our model. We're gonna do white, and then I'm gonna come back and do black for the base. So I'm gonna paint the model white. So you don't want to get too close. You want to be farther away. Also, want to make sure and do little spritz of this white instead of just constant, because I find that if you do it constant with this white spray paint, it forms little bubbles, so you want to be careful with that. Now that the model is mostly white from the spray paint, I'm going to spray from the underside here to make sure I get some of that model before I spray it with black. All right, now that we have done the white, I'm going to come back around and try to just spray the basing and try not to hit the top of the model too much. All right, we are back inside now, and just model is now dry. Just wanted to show you a closer up look at the paint.
Please don't look at me like that.
So here I am mixing a white and gray color in order to get a darker color for Padmé's torso and legs. I didn't want to have a white model with white highlights. I wanted to have a little darker undertone so you could see those highlights better on later on. So now I'm just adding water, thinning my paints so it doesn't apply too gunky. So just enjoy this next part here. I just start applying very thin coats to Padmé, You can always go back over it later. I am now applying the same color to her torso and arms on her clothing. Here you can see me adding some different colors. Now this is going to be for her boots, her waist, and her cape. So I've added white and a tan color, and I'm also going to be lightening that up a little bit because I wanted it to be a cream color for her cape and boots and belts. So that is what I'm applying here now. When I was painting the cape, I kept in mind that I was doing a lava base, so I wanted to keep it dirty and grungy looking with black tips. Now I was adding the color of her skin for her hands and starting to paint her face, including her neck. Now I was mixing up and painting her hair, just the undertone, the base color. Nice dark brown, which later on I would start to do highlights with. Now I am adding the color for her gun and being careful not to go over her skin color on her hands. I was now basically finished with the entire base coat of the model except for her facial details. I was pretty happy where this was at so far. But now on to the harder parts, getting her eyes. So I started with making her eye sockets and coloring them white. And then I was going to go back over that with brown for her eye pupils, and then coming back and doing her facial skin color around that and touching it up. It worked out pretty well. Now I was painting on her eyebrows with that same dark brown color and being careful with this as well. Here I start to take out a nice light pink skin color tone for her lips. I also go back over that with a lighter skin color to really blend that in. After completing the face as much as I would like to at this point, I decided to do a makeshift wash with Lahima Medium, and I decided to go back over Padmé's clothes with that same color, but mixed in a little darker this time to really get those shadows showing out. I am now applying a brown wash that I have diluted a little bit to part of the cape, since it has some really nice detail. I am now applying some highlights to the cape as I go about completing this model. I have now begun to starting to apply highlights to the rest of her clothing and to the rest of the model in the next few clips. Now that I have finished the model, I'm going to start working on the base. This is going to require a range of colors, as you can see. Orange, yellow, reds, black. And the way I do this is I start with a nice yellow to the rounding the base to make it a little brighter, so when I put the other colors on, I don't have to keep putting layers and layers on. Eventually, I just start to blend them together, as you can see, and it turns out really cool. I was now finished with the base and was about ready to begin the next step. Here I'm doing a sponge with a black dark gray on Padmé's pants and boots to give that nice dirty grimy look. I am here dry brushing a nice white onto the gun, and I will do the base of the rocks. Finally, the last touch is to repaint the rim of the base with a nice black. All right, now that we've finished painting the model, let's take a look at that B-roll footage. Hit it. thank you guys for watching the video today. If you lasted this long, I appreciate it. Be sure to like and subscribe if you enjoyed what you've seen today. Padmé was fun to paint, so I hope you guys enjoyed this. And look out for next time. We have Darth Vader Celebration Edition. And also maybe we'll start painting Thanos. Alright, we'll see you next time. Bye.